Andrew, what are the fundamental philosophical principles that underlie Christianity?
Well, Christianity claims that God has revealed himself in two ways to humanity, and that we can only know God based on his divine revelation. And so the first way of God revealing himself is by general revelation, which means that God has created the universe and also created humankind in such a way that human can discover the evidence that there is a creator God of the universe. And people can discover that through reasoning, logical deduction, for example, and also through inductive reasoning, through reflecting on the empirical evidence, reflecting on the order of the universe, for example, right? The evidence of rationality, as indicated by the mathematical describable laws of nature, you may call that. And so this forms the basis of various arguments of natural theology. So, for example, the cosmological argument, the teleological argument, by which people can infer and
the existence of God.
Yeah, existence of God. Yes, that's right. So this is general revelation, and because of this, Christianity also acknowledges that other religious traditions, for example, Taoism, Buddhism, they can also have some understanding of some of these truths, even though they may not have a full understanding of God as Christianity says it. But then, because of general revelation, people from different cultures, different eras, when they reflect on the universe, they can have some kind of sense that there is some kind of transcendence, for example, even though they may not arrive at the conclusion of a creator God, for example. But then they do have some truths, right, in that sense, right, in different religious traditions.
Okay. And then the second way?
The second way is through special revelation, which refers to God revealing himself in history, in the historical events. So, for example, inspiring the prophets of the Old Testament, New Testament, and also primarily through the person of Jesus Christ, right, who is God incarnate, the incarnation. And so the central question concerning Christianity, which we need to reflect philosophically, is who is Jesus? Right? Who is Jesus? Is he just a mere human being, or is he just a prophet, or is he God incarnate? So we see that different religious traditions have different views about Jesus as well. Right? So, for example, the Muslims, right, they would say that Jesus, he's a great person, he's a prophet, but they wouldn't say that he's the Son of God.
Sure.
Yeah, whereas Christianity affirms that he is the Son of God, and because of his claims about himself, Jesus makes claims that only God can make. And in the Christian tradition, right? And also, his resurrection is also something unique. He overcome death, right, to show that he is the Son of God. And also, his death is also unique. That his death is not an ordinary death, but is supposed to have fulfilled the prophecies in the Old Testament, Isaiah 53, for example.
What's the attitude of Christianity towards other religions in the sense of exclusivity? Is Christianity the only way to know God?
Yes. So because of the uniqueness of Jesus' claims, resurrection, and death, Christians affirm that Jesus is the unique way to God. And the reason is because, according to Christianity, every person have fallen short of the moral standard which God requires for everyone. I mean, yeah, of course, we should all try to do good, but then none of us can do good perfectly to reach the standard of God. And so because we all fall short, the only way we can be reconciled with a perfect God is by his grace. And according to Christianity, God showed us his grace by sending Jesus into the world to die for us on the cross. And that is how our sins can be forgiven, and that's how we can be reconciled with God and be with him forever.
And so that's a fundamental difference with virtually every religion. The first part about natural theology, observing the world, many people can have access in different ways. Second part is a very exclusive view.
Yes, because of the logic of it, right? But actually, these two parts are interconnected in a way. Why? Because the first part not only refers to the universe, but also, for example, to the Christianity claims that there is also a moral law that is revealed in the hearts of people. And that's why you find that in almost all religious traditions, people do have some understanding of morality. And people, so for example, in the Eastern tradition, right, Confucianism emphasized on the importance of filial piety, for example.
Right.
This is also taught in Christianity, right? So to honor your parents, this is something like a moral law that people from different cultures can recognize. But on the other hand, all religious traditions also understand that that all human beings fall short in some ways. That there's a problem with humankind or human nature, you may call it. That we know that there's suffering in this world, and there's evil in this world, imperfection in this world. And so people do recognize the need for deliverance, 解脱, or you call this in Chinese, in Buddhist philosophy, 解脱, they need to be delivered, right, from this. And that's where the relevance of the special revelation comes in, right, in the Christian theology, that Jesus Christ came to deliver us, right, from all these problems.
And other traditions, of course, have the various steps, but they don't make that final step.
Other religions have various teachings about how we can be delivered, right?
Yeah.
So Buddhist traditions, for example, says that, suffering came because of all these desires that we need to eliminate, right, in order to be delivered, right? So that's their method, right? And you find that Taoism also says that, you need to meditate, 修炼 or something like that, right? So that you can hopefully live forever. Right? So if you look at all other religions, you find that the solution that they offer is that it's by human effort, right? You have to work hard, try hard in some ways, right? But the problem, according to Christianity, is that no matter how hard you try, we still fall short of the perfection, right? We still cannot reach up to perfect standard. And so the only way for us to be delivered is for God, the ultimate reality, right, to reach down to us, to come down to us, and to deliver us, right? And that's what Christianity claims, that God has done that through the person of Jesus Christ. He came down to deliver us from all these problems so that we can be brought up to Him and be reconciled with Him and be with Him forever.